What do you want to do?
Sri Lanka needs have not been met by international mechanisms. I fully believe in adhering to international standards, international human rights standards, but the machinery is for each country. I'm going to discuss the conflict between international mechanisms and Sri Lankan standards. Very briefly, I'm going to run through models of other countries that we can look at, and then I'm going to suggest how to go there. My research involved finding out whether transitional justice can be classified as human right and how sustainable peace could be mapped out with the promotion of democratic ideals such as truth, dignity, and justice. I looked at a few books on international criminal law and also conflict resolution books, but mainly my research was based on interviews at grassroots level and my personal work as a peace activist at grassroots level, and also current journal articles and newspapers from different countries. There are different definitions to transitional justice, but I prefer this one. Transitional justice is a response to systematic and widespread violation of human rights. It seeks recognition for victims and promotion of possibilities for peace, reconciliation, and democracy. Transitional justice is not a special form of justice, but justice adapted to societies transforming themselves after a period of pervasive human rights abuses. In some cases, the transformation happens suddenly. In others, they take place over many decades. So there is no time limit to achieve transitional justice. Peace, development, and human rights, as you all know, are inextricably linked. One cannot function without the other. And it is very interesting that in 1998, the Asian countries came together to bring together and enact a peace charter. And here, the right to peace is defined in this charter. It says that all persons have the right to peace so that they can fully develop all their capacities, physical, intellectual, moral, and spiritual, without being the target of any kind of violence. We all agree with the concepts of indivisibility of human rights, that human rights, there is no hierarchy of human rights. Civil and political rights, social, economic, and cultural rights are all inextricably linked, and universalism. We have no argument with regard to that, and that human rights paves the way to peace and security. But we like to look at these concepts in our own cultural and religious traditions, which means dharma, which means gunadharma, came from that word, fairness, right, duty. This is the inseparable association with ahimsa, peace and non-violence. Not only physical violence, but economic violence. Mahatma Gandhi said, poverty is a worst form or most flagrant form of human rights violation. So, social violence, cultural violence, elimination of all these kinds of violence is necessary for a lasting and constructive peace based on respect for human rights that would be facilitated through a strategy of integrated and endogenous development, popular participation of people in development, and the satisfaction of human needs and the increase in the quality of life of the people. So how can we achieve sustainable peace in Sri Lanka? Civil society needs to be proactive. They should be empowered so that they could intervene with the expression of ideas at rural level and policy level. Community workers could assist in bringing about changes in policy that facilitates participatory administration in the former conflict zones. Networking with law enforcement officers, we have women development officers, we have child protection officers in the various Pradesh Sabhas. We can establish strong networks. Youth clubs are there. There are religious leaders in every little village. Discussion and debate can be had on important issues. The United Nations gives us the Joint Principles in 1996, which emphasizes transitional justice. Amazingly, these somehow fall in line with the system adopted by Sri Lanka. They speak of compensation, rehabilitation, satisfaction, and guarantee of non-repetition.